In this video, I will be explaining what is context propagation. Before that, let's understand what are variables. In playbooks, you can use variables that can be configured in any of the queries or related fields in a playbook task. The values of these variables can be changed in real time when executing them from the web or via workflows. This allows playbooks to be more flexible and reusable for similar services or components. Let's take an example. Here we have a Kubernetes playbook, which has a task get all the pods and their status from a namespace and get all the logs for the pods. Here we have a task which has kubectl command configured with a variable called namespace. And similarly, here we have a kubectl command to get logs for the pods and the namespace. If I execute this, it will get me all the pods for the namespace deployment, as we can see from the result here. If I run this step, it will get the logs for the pods that are mentioned in this array of string, as we can see in the timeline. Now, while configuring a playbook task, you can also inject the context from the result of a task into a variable. For example, here we have the pods that are coming for the namespace deployment. And then we have a transformer function that will be applied on the output of this task, as seen here, which will try to get all the pods from the output in real time. If I test this code, it will give me all the pods that have resulted as the output of this task. When I run this task with this transformer applied on top of it, it will update the pods value, which further will be used in the execution of the next task. Similarly, the context in these variables can also be injected via workflow. Let's take an example. Here we have a workflow which which gets triggered by a Slack alert. Inside my Slack alert, I have a context of which namespace this alert is coming from. And then I have a transformer that will read that Slack alert to extract the namespace and inject that into the variable in our playbook, the namespace variable in our playbook. Let's take a live example. If I send a notification of the alert coming in my Slack channel, it will trigger the workflow. The transformer configured in the workflow will extract the namespace, which will be available in the playbook execution of that workflow. As you can see, the alert consisted of namespace data route. We got all the pods for the namespace data dot, and then further we got all the logs that were that are that came as the result of the previous task. For further reading, you can head to these links that will help you understand a more in-depth view of context propagation.